10 routine on the beam, she did 20. And I think this is a secret of the thing that she's doing now.
Well, thanks so much for joining us, Nadia, and best of luck.
You're welcome.
Back to you, Gary.
All right, Julie, thank you very much. Li Jing of China.
With her at the Wildlife Safari. That's our report. We'll see you after the movie tonight. Good night. What about that Mr. Skinny
From ABC News, World News Sunday. Substituting for Forrest Sawyer, here's Carol Simpson.
Good evening. If winning the war against Saddam Hussein was relatively easy, enforcing the peace has proved to be frustrating. So frustrating, the administration is once again raising the possibility of new military action against Iraq. Many in the administration and Congress are fed up with Saddam's repeated attempts to buck the ceasefire agreement, which calls for him to reveal and destroy his military machine. Underscoring the tense standoff is the departure of a team of United Nations inspectors who were in Iraq to enforce the ceasefire agreement. More from ABC's Kathleen Delasky.
The UN inspection team packed up and left Friday, its job left undone. The Iraqis wanted to control the team's access to Scud missile sites by flying them in Iraqi helicopters, but the team refused. This happened just after UN investigators found 4 Scud launchers that had been destroyed under a UN order and then reassembled by the Iraqis. The UN issued Saddam Hussein a formal warning that Iraq better cooperate or else. Today on This Week with David Brinkley, the president's national security advisor made it clear that or else could mean more military action.
Is it possible that if Saddam Hussein does not agree to do what he is supposed to do, we will send U.S. troops into Iraq?
We're looking at it, and we take it very seriously, and we think it is important that Iraq comply with the resolutions of the Security Council.
So it is possible.
It's a very important issue.
Scowcroft added, we're not likely to let Saddam get away with it. Many in Congress agree.
I think we have to keep the pressure on. I think the president would be absolutely right not to rule anything out at this point.
Some administration officials say the president is considering an ultimatum with a deadline to convince Saddam that he must comply. The last time the U.S. gave Iraq an ultimatum with a deadline, it resulted in war. Kathleen Delasky, ABC News, Washington.
Secretary of State Baker's tour of what's left of the Soviet Union is nearing an end. He arrived in Moscow last Tuesday and went on to St. Petersburg, to the capitals of the 3 newly independent Baltic states, and back to St. Petersburg. Today, Baker flew to Kazakhstan. It's the 2nd largest republic, it's one of the richest, and its leader is considered crucial to successful reform. Here's John McWethy.
Secretary Baker has traveled to this remote part of the Soviet Union in order to see one man, Nursultan Nazarbayev, president of the Republic of Kazakhstan. Nazarbayev is now considered one of the most powerful men in the Soviet Union, putting him in the company of Mikhail Gorbachev and Boris Yeltsin. He demonstrated his political muscle in an interview with ABC News by saying he would not, as suggested by Boris Yeltsin, give up the nuclear weapons that are based here.
Kazakhstan is a republic which obtained nuclear weapons and will remain the same in the future. We cannot allow other republics, even the largest republic, to control nuclear weapons in our country.
In the future, he indicated, Moscow will not have sole authority to fire nuclear weapons from here, but authority will be shared by Kazakhstan and Moscow. The new power of the republics on all these issues and how that power will be shared with Moscow is of intense interest to Baker. The Secretary's week in the Soviet Union has convinced him that changes are coming to the republics and to the center faster than anyone could have anticipated.
I can't think of anything that better symbolizes the changes going on in the Soviet Union today than the fact that the Secretary of State of the United States is meeting with the head of the KGB in KGB headquarters.
Tomorrow, Baker leaves this region of rapid change and heads for the Middle East, where change seems to come more slowly. His first stop is to be Israel, where officials from both sides say because of rising tension in the U.S.-Israeli relationship, his meetings could be extremely unpleasant. John McWethy, ABC News, Alma-Ata, Kazakhstan.
This is Dean Reynolds in Israel, where tomorrow Secretary Baker will be confronting a government that has gone beyond mere suspicion of the Bush administration's motives. Seldom, if ever, have Israeli cabinet ministers voiced such bitterness about an American president as they did today. Israel Radio said Prime Minister Shamir was at pains to maintain order as hardline ministers vilified Mr. Bush for his determination to delay American guarantees for loans to Israel of $10 billion for immigrant absorption. One minister called the president a liar and an anti-Semite.
Because he is the first president of the United States that I can remember that took such decisions against the Jewish people and the state of Israel.
But on This Week with David Brinkley, Israeli Defense Minister Moshe Aarons repudiated his cabinet colleague.
That does not reflect major opinion in the Israeli government, or for that matter, in Israel itself.
While the Israelis value the relationship with Washington, they continue expanding Jewish settlements in the occupied territories against the Bush administration's wishes. Aides to Mr. Shamir say he remains confident he can keep expanding the settlements and get the loan guarantees. But there is concern about the long-term political fallout from a bruising battle with the White House. Mr. Baker is coming here to promote a Mideast peace conference, but given the prevailing mood in Israel and the fact that the Palestinians have still not signed up, the Secretary of State has a job ahead of him that is growing more difficult by the day. Dean Reynolds, ABC News, Tel Aviv.
Despite reports that a Western hostage would be released within the next few days, Lebanon's top Shiite Muslim cleric today said it would be a few weeks. He suggested the way to get over the hostage crisis once and for all would be a one-time swap of all the Western captives being held in Lebanon and all the Arab prisoners being held in Israel. Coming up, President Bush's other controversial nominee, Robert Gates, to head the CIA. And Iowa's Democratic Senator Tom Harkin announces that he's running for president. And later in this broadcast, Ninja Turtle fever in the home of the ancient ninja warriors.
You really don't expect tissues to be strong. They're supposed to be soft.
Yeah, well, that's why they fall apart with one good hump.
Ah, you can't have it both ways.
Yes, you can. Now there's a new tissue that's soft and strong. Introducing Puffs Extra Strength.
So you're going to show us, huh?
What are those, tissues?
Wet tissues. The puffs can hold ice.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, but the other one can't.
Not even one.
Look at them all piling up on the puffs.
What are they, super tissues? That's the Puffs Extra Strength.
So this is new?
New Puffs Extra Strength. It's the strongest tissue you can buy.
Let me give it the Dave test.
You'd think it'd be rough, but it's not. It's really soft on my nose.
I'm convinced.
Not bad.
You know, if I was stuck on a crosstown bus with a runny nose and just one tissue, it better be this
New
one.
Puffs Extra Strength. Get a feel for the best.
Here's a great big idea. From Presto, professional salad shooter slicer shredder. Big capacity and power. Special blades to point and slice thick, slice thin, shred, even ripple cuts. Right where you want. From Presto.
Astronauts aboard the Space Shuttle Discovery have deployed an orbiting observatory. The $740 million satellite will examine the effects of pollution on the Earth's ozone layer. The satellite is the cornerstone of NASA's program to study the environment from space. The Senate Intelligence Committee begins confirmation hearings tomorrow on Robert Gates, President Bush's nominee to head the CIA. The Gates nomination has been controversial because of unanswered questions still lingering from the Iran-Contra scandal. Here's our White House correspondent, Ann Compton.
As he left church this morning, President Bush said he feels very strongly Robert Gates' nomination will pass. And on This Week with David Brinkley, another Gates boss said the confirmation could only be doomed if it turns out Gates lied that he did not know of the Iran-Contra operation.
Oh, of course, if he lied about it. But Mr. Gates is a very intelligent individual. If there was something out there that he knew could come up, he certainly would not put himself in this position.
Time timing has hurt Gates every step of the way. In 1987, when he was first nominated to go from number 2 to number 1 at the CIA, Iran-Contra questions forced him to withdraw before his hearings were complete. 4 years later, as President Bush expresses total confidence, 2 of Gates' former subordinates have just pled guilty or been indicted for their roles. Again, the debate is on. As deputy to CIA Director William Casey, was Gates kept out of the loop?
Structurally, he wanted his deputy out of the operational chain of command. So yes, it is very plausible.
It's hard for me to understand why he didn't know, and if he did know, why he didn't take some actions in order to see to it that these illegalities not be terminated.
Gates has one advantage he did not have in 1987, a president who has invested an unusual amount of his own prestige arguing for Gates' confirmation. So the Senate Intelligence Committee will be debating not only Robert Gates' judgment, but President Bush's as well. Ann Compton, ABC News, the White House.
Another Democrat entered the 1992 presidential sweepstakes today. Senator Tom Harkin, an unapologetic liberal, made his announcement at a farm picnic in his home state with a hard-hitting attack on George Bush. ABC's Tom Foreman is in Iowa.
If there is one thing Tom Harkin has learned in his political life, it is how to appeal to a crowd. Today, he lost no time in doing just that, telling a home state audience he will do what no Iowan has done in 43 years.
I'm Tom Harkin, and I'm running for president.
Harkin is an old-fashioned liberal Democrat, a self-proclaimed champion of the working class. As a senator, he has called for shifting more of the tax burden to the wealthy, for spending more money on the poor. He has pushed for a national health care program and tried to pull funding out of the nation's military budget.
What's wrong in America today is we've got too many people making money on money and not enough people making money in agriculture and mining and manufacturing and building real wealth in our country.
Harkin is such a classic Democrat, some Republicans are licking their chops at the mere idea he could win the Democratic nomination.
Tom Harkin is outspoken, he's bombastic, and he's very liberal. And I think that the people feel if someone runs an unabashed liberal, they're going to lose big. So a lot of Republicans nationally would like to see that.
However, if Republicans are looking forward to Harkin's campaign, many Democrats are not, because a home state candidate could easily upset the plans of other Democratic contenders who would like to make a strong early showing in Iowa.
I really think most of the campaigns have decided to cede Iowa to Tom Harkin and to spend their very limited resources in a state like New Hampshire.
What that could mean is that today Tom Harkin began what will be a very long trip that could start off easy and get harder every step of the way. Tom Foreman, ABC News, Des Moines.
In a moment, why some Detroit drivers are carrying guns.
To get rid of her gray, my wife can spend 40 minutes. But I discovered this 5-minute hair coloring.
The revolutionary discovery called Just for Men from the leader in men's hair coloring. Simply apply Just for Men and in 5 minutes shampoo out.
Gray is blended away. The look of my natural color is back in 5 minutes. That was me, and it won't fade or wash out.
My hair takes forever, but you look great in just 5 minutes.
The look of your natural color in just 5 minutes with Just for Men.
I'm alive, Jeff Hashimoto.
I'm alive, Rhonda Williamson.
I'm alive, Sonia Scofield.
I'm alive, Howard Weber.
Want to get more out of life?
I'm alive, Jessica Weber.
Get airbags. See your Allstate agent for a list of cars with airbags.
We're alive.
Time after time, Vintage Clothing of Hollywood. Are you saving what you'd hoped since leaving AT&T? Claremont Riding Academy of New York. Are you waiting longer for calls to connect? We want you back. AT&T Pro Watts. A discount plan with very competitive prices. Switch now and get 1 month of long distance free. We want you back. Call 1-800-222-0400.
It was awful. My car broke down and no one would stop to help. Worse, I was out of state and the repair place insisted on cash. Oh, for a friendly face. Thank goodness I bank at First Interstate. And thank goodness for Anna Moreno. Without a hitch, she cashed my personal First Interstate check and helped me find a nearby mechanic to fix my car. Now that's extra mile service.
If you want extra mile service, come to First Interstate Bank. We go the extra mile for you, guaranteed.
Delta Airlines got more than it bargained for on a jet plane it bought from the now-defunct Eastern Airlines. Maintenance crews refurbishing an L-1011 found hidden more than $50,000 worth of cocaine. 1 kilogram was in an air duct in the cockpit, another in a toilet drain tank. It's called carjacking, stealing a car from its driver at gunpoint, and it's become a serious problem in most major cities. Hardest hit, it appears, is Detroit, where there were at least 13 carjackings this weekend alone. Gene Meserve is in Detroit.
He said to Ruthie, that get out the truck, I want your truck, bitch. And then he just started shooting.
When it was over, Arlene Harris's friend Ruth Wall was dead. This was one of the most violent of the armed car thefts known as carjacking. In the month of August alone, there were more than 50 carjackings in the Detroit suburbs and a whopping 325 in the city. Police say drug users steal the cars to pay for a fix. But since some of the vehicles are recovered unharmed, others believe carjacking is just an updated, violent version of joyriding.
Gun-toting thugs have struck again.
Heavy media coverage has fueled public fears.
Oh, so scared. I won't go no place without him.
It definitely has altered where I go and how I go and what time I go.
The city's Greektown restaurant district has seen business tumble 35 to 40%.
The suburban people see this on TV and they think, wow, we better not go near Greektown because that's downtown Detroit.
There are cries for action.
Do something. Don't just sit there and watch it. Watch the town deteriorate, fall apart, and just totally go to hell.
The Detroit Police Department has created a task force, and police statistics do show carjackings decreasing slightly in the last few weeks.
I don't think that it's to a situation where we have to go behind a fortress and sandbags. We still have the streets.
There have been many arrests, some prosecutions, a few stiff sentences.
The judges are starting to hit them hard. What they're saying is that if you're going to play in this game, you're going to pay very heavily.
Police cannot be on every corner, so Detroit drivers are carrying guns, purchasing security systems, and hoping this random crime does not hit them like it hit Ruth Wall. Gene Meserve, ABC News, Detroit.
We'll be back in a moment.
He could have had the 60-foot sailboat, the house on the 18th green. But all Ned Crowley ever really wanted was a home on the range. At Dean Witter, our retirement plans are as individual as the people who dream.
We measure success one investor at a time.
Well, boys, how do you like the new backyard?
Poison ivy, insect bite, rashes. Too many choices.
You only need one. Cordaid.
Stop the itch and heal the rash with a brand doctors recommend most.
Present Arms.
Cordaid, the only aid you need.
Why put up with glasses that just don't fit? LensCrafters has so many ways to fit your snug points. Like snug fit pads that flex to comfortably hug your nose. LensCrafters, better fit for greater comfort in about an hour.
We built this business.
I hit the brakes. You know they're anti-lock brakes.
It was close, but we stopped in time.
Every year they plant new trees. Dad said they make good things from trees.
After my accident, they advanced my insurance benefits and built me a ramp and got me back on my feet.
We built this business to build your dreams.
Time after time, vintage clothing of Hollywood. Are you saving what you'd hoped since leaving AT&T? Claremont Riding Academy of New York. Are you waiting longer for calls to connect? We want you back. AT&T Pro Watts. A discount plan with very competitive prices. Switch now and get 1 month of long distance free. We want you back. Call 1-800-222-0400.
Beaten, raped, women pushed to the edge, changing in the face of violence.
Lessons from those who survived the nightmare. A special 2020, Tuesday.
Now let's go to Ray Gandolf in New York for a look at Mike Smith's long winning ride and, of course, today's sports highlights. Ray?
Thank you, Carol. The amazing Atlanta Braves have beaten the Dodgers for the second day in a row. This time, the strong left arm of young Steve Avery allowed L.A. just 4 hits and a run as the Braves took a 1.5-game lead in the National League West. A meeting of 2 unbeaten football teams was no contest. Mark Rippon hitting Gary Clark here in a Redskin rout over the Phoenix Cardinals. In the Woodward Stakes at Belmont Park, Gary Stevens put In Excess in cruise control, and the Irish-bred horse won handily over Farmaway and Festine. Mike Smith, riding Jolie's Halo, finished up the track in the Woodward, but he did have a mount in that prestigious race, and he's the leading rider in New York, a young man for all seasons.
Silent Generation bearing down on him now from third.
Either way, nice to be on the front end and keep on going and winning, but it's just as nice to win coming from behind.
Here comes Silent Generation, who runs by the real Virginian.
Winning is the important thing, wherever that may be or wherever I may be in the race. As long as we get there first, that's all that counts.
Mike Smith has done a lot of winning in his less than 2 years in New York. He has won the riding titles at the last 3 meetings, at Saratoga, Belmont, and Aqueduct. He's leading the current meeting at Belmont, and he makes it look easy.
He is not flashy or brilliant like a Cordero or a Pincay, like someone like that, but he gets the job done, he makes no mistakes, and that's the type of rider you want, steady, consistent, flawless.
A wild ride, Mike Smith all over, trying to get her home. Here comes Bob.
You can't perform miracles. I mean, you're not going to make a horse that just cannot run. I mean, if you just can't run, you just can't run, you know. I mean, so you have to have something to work with. The thing about good riders is fewer mistakes.
A wild ride gets there.
I wouldn't say I've always done great, but I've always been happy. I always thought I was going somewhere, you know what I'm saying? I didn't think I was just standing in one spot just spinning my wheels. I always felt I was going somewhere.
Right now, somewhere is the Big Apple, with its jaded railbirds and big money, the fast lane. For Mike Smith, it's a long way from riding quarter horses in his native New Mexico and 7 years on the Midwest circuit. But he is as steady off the track as he is in the saddle.
Mike has not let the intoxication of success affect him. He's a gentleman.
He's not a fancy kid, and that's what it's all about, riding horses. He doesn't get caught up in the other stuff, you know, jewelry and stuff like that.
You just got to keep a level head and always remember where you come from and who helped you along the way. And if you'll just really focus on that and just really focus on being yourself and not somebody, well, I got money now, yeah, I can do this and that. You'll just remember where you came from and that won't happen to you.
11, sir.
I think I was kind of bred to ride. I mean, I was just born into it, you know. My father rode and my uncle trained horses and still does, and I was just raised with him, you know, and just everything I've ever wanted to do was ride.
Is coming with a bold late run. They're coming down to the finish.
And that's all he has ever done, ride and win.
Here's the line. Quina gets there.
Win everything except one of the big glamour races, despite a half-dozen tries. But that's just a question of time.
2 or 3 Breeders' Cups, 2 Derbies, a Preakness, and a Belmont. I haven't won none of them, though.
You do?
I hope so. I'm trying.
In a sport that has its share of stuffed shirts, old cranks, and young twits, Mike Smith is as fresh as an April morning. Carol?
Thanks, Ray. When we come back, Ninja Mania goes full circle, coming home to the land of the rising sun.
After my accident, they advanced my insurance benefits and built me a ramp and got me back on my feet.
People really care. It meant a lot to us.
It was the global telecommunications link-up they built. Saved the negotiation.
What's different about Polydon?
Refreshing mint. There's a minty mouthwash ingredient in every tablet. Other cleansers may get dentures clean, but Polident gets the minty fresh clean. Super strength, super minty, Polident.
The same medicine found in the prescription drug Motrin. Same as in Motrin, in non-prescription strength.
If you want the same medicine found in prescription Motrin, wouldn't it just be simpler to ask for Motrin IB? Non-prescription strength Motrin IB. Accept no alternatives.
Education in America, Monday, why the system is failing for children of the poor.
And later in the week, Jeff Bridges and Robin Williams here on Good Morning America. Michelangelo, Donatello, Leonardo, Raphael, anybody with kids knows who they are. The biggest juvenile craze to storm America in years, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Ninja Mania has spread all over the world and is now invading the home of the real ancient ninjas. Mark Lipke is in Tokyo.
They are indelible fixtures in Japanese folklore, as commonplace here as the cowboy is in America. So while the rest of the world became enchanted with 4 overgrown cartoon characters proficient in the ancient ways of ninjutsu, the Japanese simply yawned. Right? Wrong. Omedes. Yes, the nation that gave birth to ninja warriors centuries ago is also experiencing a post-turtle ninja boom. Thousands of Japanese have been lured to Edo Village on the outskirts of Tokyo, where ninja merchants flog ninja souvenirs and ninja toys, while ninja actors pose for snapshots, then stage fierce battles full of realistic grunts and groans and gore. For the more adventurous, there's the remote village of Koga, birthplace of ninjutsu. Here in a centuries-old ninja home, visitors can experience firsthand how the masters of stealth operated.
Awesome! Righteous! Excellent! Yeah!
Nearby, there's a ninja school for kids where proud fathers and concerned mothers watch their youngsters learn how to cross ravines, ford rivers, never as easy as the movies, and even hone their skills as junior assassins with the ninja's weapon of choice, the shuriken. Everyone graduates, but oddly, very few aspire to be ninjas when they grow up. All too dangerous, they say, but what do kids know? Business has never been better at Masaki Hatsumi's ninja school. Classes are full of both Japanese and foreign students who believe ninjutsu, more than other martial arts, is a path to enlightenment.
Without meaning to sound melodramatic, it really has changed my whole life. It's given me a way to focus on a lot of different interests.
As with most fads here in Japan, this ninja mania will certainly run its course before too long, but don't expect it to die out completely. It has survived for centuries, the masters say, because it is the art of disappearing, being patient, and choosing the right moment to reappear. Though even the masters could never have imagined a reappearance quite like this.
God, I love being a turtle!
Mark Lipke, ABC News, Tokyo.
Awesome. And that's World News Sunday. I'm Carol Simpson. Good night.
From Washington.
It's done. It's over. We did 40 of those things. And one of us vomited. One of us did. Go ahead.
Well, let me just begin by showing you my vomit bag.
But in
in defense of my partner, he was turning flips and somersaults and jumping and doing, you know, it made me sick to watch him do it. That's why he tossed.
And this is what Mark did mainly.
Bob, come over just for a minute. How did they do? Honestly, how did they do?
They did real good. Did better than average. How's that?
All right.
Better than average. Yeah. Bob, we need something a little bit more than better than average.
Okay. You did great.
Okay, that's great. Where'd you put the bag?
Way to go, guys.
Yeah. Hey, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the adventures of Mark and Brian. We'll see you next week on NBC.
We thought we'd take a break here.
So you can watch some commercials.
Something wonderful is happening to the face of today. It's alive with the terrific look of great skin that comes with CoverGirl Clean Makeup. The great skin look that starts by being good to your skin with the cleanest Noxzema ingredients. For color so natural, so honest to good. Coverage so true to you. All you see is the look of great skin. That's what's so wonderful about clean makeup. It makes the look of great skin yours. CoverGirl, redefining beauty.
Recently, these people walked out of Little Caesars with extra pepperoni and cheese without paying for it. Extra pepperoni. Extra cheese. Without paying for it. It's lots of lots. Get extra pepperoni and extra cheese on 2 pieces without paying extra.
Lots of. At
$8.98, it's a steal.
After consulting with Secretary of Defense Cheney, the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Powell, and our coalition partners, I am pleased to announce that at midnight tonight, Eastern Standard Time, exactly 100 hours since ground operations commenced and 6 weeks since the start of Operation Desert Storm, all United States and coalition forces will suspend offensive combat operations.
Funding for this program is provided by Mutual of America, combining technology and financial strength to provide employee benefit programs, and by the John D. and Catherine T. MacArthur Foundation, a catalyst for change.